Alright, so I'm back in another PCup race. It's been a long time since the last one. And we're at Road Atlanta this week. And this was probably the third or the fourth race I'd done this week. But this is by far the most interesting one. And we're in qualifying now. Cutting ahead to my second lap. The first one just wasn't good. I think I even went off the track a little bit. But I'm just really trying to get a quick enough lap. This track proved a little difficult for me. Just with the turns 1 through 4, I was struggling a lot. I really felt like the last corners of the track I took well mostly. But in order to have a good starting position, I need to set a lap in the ideally mid-21s, and I just not able to really do that at all. Throughout the entire week, I kind of struggled a lot. Coming around the final corner, which is flat out the Porsche Cup. But every now and then you have to lift just a little bit and then come across the line for 22.3, which is good enough for P13. And off the start, I get a pretty good start. The cars in front going 3 wide. And that's not good. Go down the inside to turn 1, which I do. And then the car in front of me is, I guess, in a way, you could say a teammate, because we kind of share liveries. I just have the old version of his. And through the S's, I have to lift a lot to not run to the back of the car in front, because they're stacked up pretty bad. And coming through to this corner, you can almost get a dive if the car through this about 2/10 back. But I just didn't really want to go for it because it had not gone very well when I tried it the races before. And this back straightaway, because it's so long, you have a pretty good advantage coming down the chicane if you're close behind someone, because all the slipstream you can gain. Then for the chicane, I don't try to make a move, because I don't really want to just sit. So that would be really very fair to him. Especially if we'd make contact, because that corner sometimes can be a little hard to stop the car. Then coming lap 2, P10. There's still 17 laps left in the race. This is a very long race in terms of lap count for PCup. 19 laps does take a long time. But now a car in front slides off. It's now P9. Which this track has a very good... It's very easy to gain positions if you're just consistent. So you don't really have to be super quick on Road Atlanta to do well. I look almost for a dive bomb again on the inside, but decide to not commit to it. But it's very advantageous to just let cars in front make mistakes on this track. Because it's, although relatively short and fairly simple track, there are several very technical corners that can easily just catch you. And I will say there will be probably a difference in the I rating and safety rating from this to the next ones I'll show eventually. I did a couple races in between this and the next one that did not go well. So I'll probably show just the first PCup race that went bad and the one that went pretty good. And now it's going back up, so that's alright. Still P9 for lap 3. And then you'll notice on my relative the name of car number 15, Rajah Caruth. He is a driver in the NASCAR Truck Series for number 71, sponsored by HendrickCars.com. And this is not the first time I've encountered him in PCup. I can't quite remember what the track was the last time. It may have been Imola, but I can't quite remember. And he was pretty good. And in this race, he's even doing pretty well. And now I've made my P8. But Rajah Caruth is now in P11, and he started in about P22. He just kind of crashed in qualifying. He didn't do really that good at all. But with a driver of his capabilities, I don't think he really needs to worry about that all too much. Then there's kind of a little crash, a little incident in front of you. 2 cars, and I end up being able to take perfect advantage of it and pass 2 of them. So now I'm in P6 coming on to lap 4. In this corner number 2, I struggled with the entire week. It was either I went too deep through it, or I went too slow. I rarely got it right. As you can see with my lap times, they're just not very good. And then what I believe is turn number 6, coming out of the S's, it's kind of easy to just lose your car. So like to snap that bump, especially if you carry a little more speed through it to right to the edge into the sand. Now I'm 4 seconds from the car in front, the car in P5, and 3/10 from the car behind me. You really just want to keep a gap and keep building that gap on the car behind. Because Road Atlanta, there's a lot of spots where you can gain a lot of time in the car in front of you. But what I'm really trying to do here is just keep that guy behind me as long as I can. And now going on to lap number 7, just wanted to skip ahead just a little bit because this is a pretty long race. Rajah Caruth is now 1 second behind me. He's setting high 21s, which is still pretty fast compared to what I'm doing. He's now 7/10 behind me, coming out of turn 2. And he just keeps gaining a lot because obviously since he's a professional driver, he knows a thing or two about how to drive even if it's not just NASCAR. Coming off the backstretch, he's 4/10 behind me. And there's 3.7 in front. So there's really nothing I can do other than hope. And because I almost slid just a little bit coming out of that corner, he just gets the advantage and then immediately passes me. But I'm able to keep side by side with him, hopefully down to the chicane. He's just ever so slightly in front of me, but I am able to brake a little later than him, keep the inside of the chicane and get ahead. So I can keep him behind just a little bit longer, but coming into the final corner at the top of the hill, he passes me. It's just so easy in that corner to just go under someone that goes wide or doesn't get a good exit in the chicane. And then now I have pressure from the 7-up car as well. We almost make contacts coming up into turn 2. 7-up car backs off, probably to avoid contacts. And I think the problem is I take a little too much curb on that one, because I had been getting off tracks a lot in turn 2. Going for a little straightaway. The car behind me is right on top of me, and Rajah Caruth is just pulling away. There's almost nothing I can do at this point to catch him because I'm under so much constant pressure from the 7-up. So into the chicane, I'm just hoping that 7-up car doesn't go on my inside, or that I can get the inside first, because then I can just hold him off. But I don't go the inside for some reason. He just barely tries to pull ahead. We make this little contact coming out of the chicane, and I stay ahead. And now the send-up car is under pressure from number 10. So that keeps him back. Number 10 goes wide, hits the grass, spins. So now it's really just me and the 7-up car together. And now we're just going to go on board Rajah Caruth for his start of the race. The P24. He gets an amazing start compared to the people in front of him. And since they're through wide in front of them, they're going to be fairly slow at their turn. There's a car already off the racetrack. And now Caruth just can go down the inside if he really wants to through turn 2, but he doesn't. He chooses to slow down, stay behind, and just wait for something to happen. So 3 wide going to the S's, which will never work. 2 people slide out. A third just hits someone. And now Rajah Caruth just passed like 5 people through the span of 2 corners. That really just shows patience by a professional driver and what can happen when you really just know what you're doing. Then we're just going to go with him for just a little bit until he gets to me. Over my time doing PCup, I have encountered only a couple real-life drivers. But by far, Caruth is probably the best in terms of racecraft. Because a lot of times you'll get them real drivers who are not on their main iRacing accounts, who just kind of mess around and just don't take it seriously. But throughout this entire race, or that Rajah Caruth was here, he didn't seem like he wasn't taking it seriously. He seemed like he was doing it to win. Then he gains another position off a car that was in the gravel trap. He's closing very, very quickly on car 14, coming through the S's. And we'll see if he's able to make a move on the Pohl straightaway. And he is. Just about, because car number 14 goes maybe off the track there. Then down the inside, Rajah Caruth goes. Making up even more positions. And now he's in P15 by lap 2. And there's about 8 tenths of the cars in front of him. 8 or 9 tenths to the 2 cars, and then the group in front of that. And then by this point, you can just about see me. I'm about 5 or 6 cars in front. 2 cars in front of Caruth go off. He's able to pass both of them, and then the third gets spun out. So now he's in P12. He gains 12 positions in about 2 laps. Amazing racecraft. I don't know if it was also luck too, but he's a pretty skilled driver when it comes to avoiding things. Looks like he almost tries to make a move on number 1, but he doesn't. So I don't know if you can tell number 1's kind of slow through that part of the track, or if he's just struggling a little bit. They both kind of get not the best run out of what I think is turn number 5. Then you can see the 7-up car, me, and then the PB&J. And down the inside, Rajah Caruth goes on car number 1. And now he's in P11, pretty much. Car number 1 is just ever so slightly off the back of Caruth. Now he makes a move in front of him to kind of just cut him off. So you can have the inside for the chicane. And because the 3 of us in front are kind of battling with each other, we'll slow each other down, which will then draw Caruth closer and inevitably lead to him catching us quicker. And here is where I overtake the 2 cars that kind of wrecked each other. And then, of course, Rajah Caruth is able to pass both as well. And then now we jump back to me. Or sorry, no, we stay with Rajah Caruth. This is the lap lap number 7, where he just about was to me. This is actually the lap where he passes me, because you see I'm struggling with the end of sector 1. Struggling real bad, because I just cannot for the life of me figure out turn number 2 for some reason. I noticed Caruth takes a lot more curb on the right side of the S's than I am. I don't know if that's able to just turn his car in a little more than me. Then he gets a really good run through the, not quite hairpin, but you can see I get loose coming out of it. I go to block him, so I didn't really, to be honest, see him at all. And then now we're side by side on the backstretch, going down towards the chicane. We almost did make contact there. I don't know how we didn't at all, but I just ever so slightly slip ahead, like you already saw, but I didn't get a really good run through that. And there was a car crashed off to the side. And then down the inside he goes. So now we're coming to lap number 9, which is a lap after I was passed by him. He's two seconds ahead of me, and I'm about a second in front of the car behind me. So at this point, Caruth is kind of just checked out from me at this point, because I will not catch him. It's really just about keeping number 18 behind me. So my laps have not really been very good. I'm in almost on 124s, which is kind of bad. My pace over the week did get better. This was probably my best race pace-wise, I'd say. Maybe the one before it, but probably this one in terms of my overall race pace. And I am gaining a little bit of time on the car behind, but we're kind of just staying at a even 1 to 1.5 seconds. And I'm actually able to keep about the same pace to Rajah Caruth in front. But coming on to lap number 10, I'm in P6, which is really good considering where I started. And P5 for Rajah Caruth, which is very, very good considering where he started. Almost last place. But now he's really starting to pull away from me. Because we're back to the part of the track where I'm not very good at. But just about coming to the S's, I slide. So I take way too much of the curb on the outside, which can just unbalance the rear end of the car and just throws it. And even coming onto the little straightaway, it's really easy to get snapped of oversteer, and you lose it. He's gained probably half a second on me already. And the car behind is starting to get very close. Or close enough where I have to start worrying about him. Through this long straightaway, his gap of 0.8, he can still gain my slipstream. And coming into a chicane like this, slipstream, is really helpful. Every lap I've taken a different line from the chicane, pretty much, but you can hear and see Rajah Caruth spawn at the top of the hill coming out of the chicane. And he just got absolutely demolished by 18. Somehow number 18 is like completely fine. Now, we're going to go on board Rajah Caruth on lap 10, coming to the chicane and see really what happens then. So I'm not too sure. I think he maybe overran the car just a little bit on the curb. And then he pulls out right behind me. He almost hits me. We almost make contact with each other, but just ever so slightly. He's behind, pulling out right in front of number 18, who just no time to react at all. Caruth's car is totally done for completely. Now we're just going to go ahead to lap number 17, where I'm in P5. So I'd passed another car that he was just struggling. I think I did go off in that part. I almost crashed into the wall, so I'm just sliding all over the place. I probably fried my tires. Then looks like car in front maybe crashed onto the back straightaway. So now I'm gonna have a battle for P4 with Garrett Hahn, who I'd not seen him at all the entire race, so he must have been one of the front runners, or someone at least pretty close. But now 6/10 with just about 2 laps to go. This is really close, at least for me, so I can potentially gain another position and put myself in 4th place. At this point, number 1, 18, and 16 are not in contention at all for me anymore. And then on the back straightaway coming to the chicane, I just blow right past number 12. So I think he's probably his wheel damage. So I think he did actually hit the wall. And I almost lost it out of the chicane at the top of the hill. So I just got him powered, just maybe a little too early. I think that's most likely what happened to Rajah Caruth, is he just got on power too early and too much on the curb. Then you can really hear that my tires are not very happy anymore. So there are a couple corners I just overbrake too much. Or jamming the brakes, I'm about to slide. Then there's I already put 2 seconds on number 14, or number 12. And with 1.5 laps to go, I'm kind of just isolated from everyone. 3 seconds behind, 9 to the car in front. I really don't have too much of a chance in the car in front of me, because they're checked out pretty much. With almost just a lap left now, and they're setting almost 120s. Which even my fastest lap is almost 2 seconds. Or it's exactly almost 1 second slower than them. So they just know the track better than me. They're just more skilled in that regard. This was probably my best race in terms of incident points too. So I got a contact for earlier in the race. This car is, I think, very sensitive. And then now, coming up to the final lap of the race, still P4, nothing I can do really to gain position. But it's now just being consistency. So there's really no chance the car behind will catch me. It's almost impossible unless I make a big mistake, which I had been doing in previous races. But this one, it seemed like I was just more mentally there in terms of what I need to be doing. And the leaders even are actually battling each other. So there's a potential for something to happen with that, but they don't. Nothing really happens at all for them. Even the cars behind me, I think, are battling. And then there's actually a spin, or some sort of incident behind the P7, because he's no longer there. Then I just ever so slightly gain on 22. But there's nothing I can do as I round top of the hill, come through the final corner to finish the race, P number 4. Overall, it was a very, very good race. And very fun, considering I made up like 9 or 10 positions. It was pretty clean too, and then I gained 0.06 safety rating to be at 2.21. I'm at like 1.5 now. That's not important. 1,881 I rating, which I'm not at either anymore, but I'm pretty close. So the goal with 2K is right there. But that'll do it for this video. So thank you for watching.